It's me, Kelly again. GH is currently at its peak, and this is proving to be a new, explosive event. Before watching the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Lucas has always been one of those steady, caring souls who tries to do right even when the world around him spins into chaos. Seeing him gunned down like that felt like a punch to the gut, especially after everything he's already endured. But oh, how the story turned. And in the best possible way, that reminds me why I've stayed loyal to this show through decades of heartbreak and triumph. That bulletproof vest Lucas secretly borrowed from Sonny turned out to be his lifeline. I have to admit, it brought a smile to my face when I learned the details. Sonny has always been the kind of man who prepares for the worst, and in this case, his caution saved Lucas's life. It's one of those classic General Hospital touches, family connections, even complicated ones, proving vital when you least expect it. Instead of rushing to the hospital or alerting everyone, Lucas made the bold choice to fake his death. Now that's the kind of smart, calculated risk I admire in these characters. He's not just surviving, he's thinking several steps ahead, hiding out in the Corinthos family's safe house while the whole town mourns. It feels right for Lucas, a doctor who understands life and death better than most, using that knowledge to turn the tables on a dangerous foe. What really stands out to me is how this decision to stay in the shadows is shaking up the usual patterns we've seen in Port Charles. Remember how many times characters have rushed back into the light only to face more danger? Lucas is playing it differently, and I think that's a refreshing change. By pretending to be gone, he's forcing Sidwell to lower his guard. Sidwell, with all his scheming and power plays, believes he's won. He's moving forward with plans to destroy those last incriminating documents, the ones that could tie him and Cullum to so many crimes. I keep asking myself, how long can this deception hold? But then the story delivers, and Lucas emerges at just the right moment, stepping out with the police in tow. It's poetic justice, really. The man who was thought dead becomes the one to dismantle an entire criminal operation right there in our beloved town. This development has me reflecting on Lucas's journey in a whole new light. He's always been caught between his medical calling and the pull of family secrets and dangers. Faking his death to build a stronger legal case against Sidwell shows growth. It's not the impulsive action of a younger man. It's the measured move of someone who's learned from past mistakes. And clearing his name regarding Marco's death, that part hits especially close to home for longtime viewers like me. Marco's passing left so many unanswered questions and lingering pain. Lucas stepping up like this feels like a long overdue resolution, one that honors the character's integrity while delivering the kind of edge-of-your-seat drama we crave. I've got to say, the way this storyline weaves in the Corinthos safe house adds such a personal layer. It's a place tied to protection and loyalty, and having Lucas there feels symbolic. Sonny's influence, even indirectly, continues to ripple through these events. Will this finally bring some stability to the hospital crowd after all the recent upheavals? I believe it just might. Sidwell's empire crumbling in Port Charles is the kind of victory that echoes through the community. No more looking over shoulders for those he targeted. Lucas's quiet work gathering evidence against both Sidwell and Cullum demonstrates real courage. It's not flashy heroics, it's the patient kind that builds to something powerful. One thing I appreciate about this arc is how it keeps the tension alive without unnecessary cruelty. We see Lucas operating carefully, mindful of the people who care about him, even as he stays hidden. It makes me wonder what the reactions will be when the truth comes fully to light, joy mixed with relief, I'm sure. The show has a wonderful way of balancing high-stakes action with emotional payoffs, and this feels primed for exactly that. Sidwell thinking he's tying up loose ends only to face Lucas with the authorities? That moment must have been electric. It's the sort of scene that lingers with you, proving once again that good can prevail when someone is willing to play the long game. As someone who's followed these characters through births, deaths, weddings, and betrayals, I find myself particularly moved by Lucas's resilience. He could have chosen safety and exposure right after the shooting, but choosing strategy instead speaks volumes about his character. It sets him apart from some of the more reactive figures we've seen in past storylines. And let's not overlook the broader impact on Port Charles. With Sidwell's threats neutralized, perhaps the focus can shift back to healing and everyday hospital dramas that first drew so many of us in. Yet, I suspect there are more layers to uncover, maybe lingering allies of Sidwell or new questions about Cullum's involvement. The beauty of General Hospital lies in how one victory opens doors to fresh possibilities. I keep thinking about the families affected. Lucas's return from the dead will ripple outward, touching friends and loved ones who grieve too soon. It's these human elements that make the show timeless. Will there be reunions filled with tears and hugs? Almost certainly, and I can't wait to see them unfold. The writers have crafted something special here, blending suspense with heart. Lucas's hidden efforts in that safe house represent hope amid darkness, a theme that resonates deeply after so many turbulent years in the storyline. What strikes me most is the clever misdirection. Sidwell, confident in his victory, grows careless precisely because Lucas stays invisible. That build-up to the confrontation feels masterful. It's not every day a character fakes his demise to trap a villain so thoroughly. I've seen many takedowns over the seasons, but this one carries extra weight because of the personal stakes for Lucas and his name. Clearing the cloud around Marco's death adds emotional depth that elevates the entire plot beyond simple revenge. Friends, if you've been watching as long as I have, you know these moments are why we return week after week. Lucas emerging with the police to end Sidwell's reign marks a turning point. It promises safer streets and renewed focus on what matters most: love, medicine, and community in Port Charles. I'm already imagining the conversations at Kelly's or the hospital corridors once the news breaks. Excitement is building, and I, for one, am here for every second of it. This choice to operate from the shadows also highlights themes of trust and patience that feel especially meaningful today. In a world that often rewards quick reactions, Lucas shows the strength in waiting for the perfect moment. It's a lesson woven beautifully into the drama, one that leaves me optimistic about future chapters. Sidwell's fall isn't just about justice, it's about restoring balance after chaos. And with Lucas at the center, it feels authentic to the show's spirit. As the dust settles on this chapter, I find myself pondering what comes next for Lucas. Will he return fully to his medical duties with a new sense of peace? Or will the experiences change how he approaches life in Port Charles? Whatever the path, I trust the storytellers to deliver something worthwhile. The fake death ploy succeeded beyond expectations, proving that sometimes the quietest strategies yield the loudest victories. It's developments like these that keep General Hospital vibrant and engaging, even after all these years. What strikes me most is how Sidwell has developed this new obsession that's clouding his judgment. He's fixated on tying up every loose end after the shooting at the construction site, convinced that eliminating those final documents will secure his position. But in his rush, he's overlooked critical details, making adjustments that only expose him further. I keep asking myself, how could someone so calculated let his guard down like this? The answer lies in that false sense of victory. With Lucas presumed dead, Sidwell believes the biggest threat is gone, yet that very belief is fueling his explosive reactions now. His temper is flaring in ways we haven't seen before, leading to hasty decisions that are unraveling years of careful criminal maneuvering. Lucas, bless his heart, has been preparing meticulously from the shadows in that Corinthos safe house. He's not just hiding, he's ready to strike. Gathering solid evidence against Sidwell and Cullum has turned him into a patient predator, waiting for the perfect opening. This approach feels so true to Lucas's character as a thoughtful doctor who values strategy over impulse. His secret survival, thanks to Sonny's bulletproof vest, gave him the chance to build an airtight case, and now that preparation is about to pay off in spectacular fashion. I love how this storyline shows growth. Lucas isn't rushing in blindly, but is orchestrating something that could truly end Sidwell's reign. The tension is building toward a new disaster, one that Sidwell's own mistakes are inviting. His latest adjustments, rushing to destroy evidence while obsessing over minor details, have created openings that Lucas is poised to exploit. Imagine the scene. Sidwell thinking he's consolidating power, only for everything to explode around him because of overlooked vulnerabilities. It's thrilling to watch a criminal empire teeter on the edge of collapse due to one man's hubris. I've seen many villains fall in Port Charles over the decades, but Sidwell's current spiral feels particularly satisfying because it stems directly from underestimating Lucas. This development has me reflecting on the bigger picture for our town. Sidwell's exploding frustration is causing ripples that could affect so many lives, from the hospital staff to families caught in the crossfire. Yet Lucas's readiness to attack brings a sense of hope and justice that warms this old viewer's heart. Will the confrontation lead to the total dismantling of Sidwell's operation? I believe it will, and the fallout promises to be intense. There's something deeply rewarding about seeing a good man like Lucas turn the tables so effectively. His hidden work not only clears his name regarding Marco's death, but also protects the community from further harm. One thing I appreciate is how the writers balance the high drama with emotional depth. Sidwell's big mistake isn't just plot convenience, it highlights how obsession can blind even the sharpest operators. Meanwhile, Lucas's patience in the safe house demonstrates quiet strength that resonates with me at my stage in life. We've all faced moments where stepping back allows clearer vision. This arc keeps me wondering what surprises await in the coming episodes. Will Sidwell's new fixation lead him to even riskier moves, escalating the disaster? Or will Lucas's strike come at the exact moment when the villain is most vulnerable? The anticipation is delightful. As someone who's followed these characters through countless storms, I find this chapter particularly engaging. It reminds us that even in the darkest times, clever minds and loyal connections can prevail. Sidwell's empire is cracking under the weight of his errors, and Lucas stands ready to deliver the final blow. The new disaster brewing promises fireworks that will leave Port Charles forever changed. I can already picture the relief on familiar faces once the truth emerges, the reunions, the explanations, and the healing that follows.